What's up, Chooch? Out here ripping around on the KINGSOng S20. Man, this thing threw me on the ground right there. Cause I was doing some little like tiny tail whips, and it just shows you, man, even the small things can throw you on the ground. It's not even the big stuff, or you're going fast. Sometimes it'll drop you. It's just fooling around. But overall, man, this thing has been great. I've had a total blast on this wheel. I've really kept this thing charging and then riding it, charging it, riding it, and just, man, I've had a blast on it compared to any other wheel. Really have. And you can just see here, it makes you see the world in a totally different way. A totally different way than any other wheel because you can ride over everything so much easier. Granted, most unicycles can go off-road and over rocks and all that, but you got to go a little bit slower, and it really might be a lot harder on the legs. But this one, I mean, dude, is plush. It rides so good off-road, and it's so much fun. It's so unique in the way it rides, and it's just a totally, I mean, it's awesome. Like these trails right here that have all these rocks in it, a non-suspension unicycle, man, it can be done, but you just can't ride it full speed, full send into it. It's just too much chattering going on, especially if you got your tire pressure to the highest level that you really need to ride it at. Man, this thing, it rides so smooth. Just the smoothness of it, it's like it was made to ride mountain bike trails. It rides in the same dynamic as a mountain bike. So you can ride it just as fast as a mountain bike. You can literally, it handles pretty much just the same as a really nice mountain bike would on these trails. And the suspension works so well for all those little bumps, the rocks. You can even hit the little side hits. And another thing about this wheel is it is just so forgiving, man, and the stuff that you can go into. Like, you can really maintain a speed on this thing that if something unexpected comes up, you can just kind of brace and just go at it. And this thing will handle it. It'll just absorb whatever it is and go over it, and you'll come out of it with a smile on your face. And most of the time on any other unicycle, if you go into something that fast or whatever, into a rock bed or anything, it'll snag you and switch, twist the wheel in one way and you might go down. This thing, it just is like, it's like some type of like moon equipment, man. This thing just plush goes right over it, no problem. And even the fact that since it's one wheel, it handles even better than a bicycle does, because a bicycle has two wheels, one's going one way, one's hitting a different bump than the other one. This one's just plush, man. Every single bump, it just kind of goes into its groove, and it works. It's something else. Like, there's not many people in the world that have experienced a full suspension electric unicycle and riding it off-road like this, and it is an incredible feeling. It is so much, it is amazing, man. It seriously is absolutely, just compared to a solid axle unicycle, there's no comparison. There's simply no way I will ever ride a trail again with a non-suspension unicycle and be cool with it. Like, I will literally just be like, man, I'll be missing it so much. I will. Like, I seriously will be missing that so much. And it handles so good, dude. Like, it really lets you go into the berms. The pedal angle on this, the cutoff angle, is greatly increased. And I think you can actually change it in the app. I haven't messed with it from what it was set at. I think it's set at like 67 degrees or something like that right now. So that just means you can really get into your corners good. And if y'all are new to this, what happens is if the device falls over, it has kind of like a bubble level cutoff in it, just so it'll shut off at some point. It won't just spin out of control like a top. If it falls over on its side, it'll cut off. But you can change the level in which it does cut off, I'm pretty sure. But this one was already set at a great angle, so that just means you can lean it far into those berms and whatnot without it cutting off on you, and you really can with this one. And the suspension lets you just lean in farther and lets you lean in more aggressively into your corners, and it just handles those corners so good compared to any other wheel. Any other wheel, I was just afraid of it cutting off on me, afraid of a pedal scraping in the corner, hitting a rock. This, man, I just go. And it gets it, dude, through all of it, no problem. And it is so much fun. It is so much fun, and it is not hard on the legs, man. The only thing that this thing does is give you a core workout like no other, just because you're just constantly jumping and engaging that suspension, preloading it, and you're having a blast, getting a great workout on this wheel. That's one thing I've noticed, man. If y'all have been riding a long time, you're going to get this and just be like, dude, I am worn out from riding today. Like, you have a blast doing it, and it's a good thing, but you're going to notice it because you're just going to come back and be like, dude, what did I do today? And it's, man, you were out taking an 80-pound electric unicycle and engaging suspension on that thing all day long is what you were doing, and then you're coming back and you got a core workout like you never, you couldn't imagine, dude. It is awesome, but it is just rad. Look at that. Look at how it handles that little rock feature right there. This is all little like mountain bike rock features in here. It handles them very well, and even with the suspension, guys, look at how just smooth it is just rolling through here. One thing I want to note too is just look at how this thing with the suspension, it is just very easy on the trails, man. I mean, you don't even see anything, any hiccup, any disturbance of anything, any kind on the trails with this. And I think these electric unicycles are very different than the dynamics of an e-bike. Because think with an e-bike, the reason they have the classes, the e-bikes and whatnot for trails, because they don't want people out there gassing the e-bike and just spinning tires. In an electric unicycle, you can't just spin tires. You can't even lock up your back brake to create a braking bump. I mean, this thing is just smoothing out the trail. I mean, think about horses, even people with their feet, if the trail's wet, make way more damage than this thing. I mean, with a mountain bike, you could have someone that's the most novice rider ever that just goes out there and you can still have them lock up the back brake, slide unnecessarily into corners, create braking bumps, all that. You have to be a extremely good rider on one of these to even be able to remotely lock up the wheel and slide. I mean, even like, you don't want to do that. Even if you could do it, you wouldn't necessarily want to in any situation because it'd probably be detrimental most of the time. So these things are really a whole different dynamic, and I think that they really do have a place in the fact that they don't cause any damage to the trails. I mean, they really don't. And it's just one of those things that I think it's just new and that people don't know too much about. But it needs to be educated on people that there's a whole different dynamic to it. And the reason that mountain bikes mess up trails is because they do have a brake. And it's because you can make that back tire skid a lot. You know, every corner if you want to. If you want to do a slide turn in the corners or whatever it may be, that's why you get those bumps before every corner on a mountain bike / hiking trail. But with this one, you won't have that problem because no one's going to be locking up their unicycle into the corners. So it's just one thing that, you know, it's a new device and it just needs to be talked about for people to know about. The adjustment on the back, guys, for the compression being as simple as it is, where you can literally just turn it, I always am changing it up. Now I've said in the last video, or I wouldn't want to change it very much, but now that I've rode the wheel for a week, you know, solid every day, I really do change the compression, guys. Whenever I'm going off-road or whatever, if it feels like I need to stiffen it up, I will. If I need to, you know, loosen it up, if I'm riding like dirt roads or whatever, I'll soften it up a lot, guys. Like if I'm riding a dirt road to where there's potholes and everything in it, dude, just soften this thing up, and it is like a Mars rover just cruising along. It is amazing. I'm telling you, it's better than a bicycle or a motorcycle on dirt roads. Like, I can get through these dirt roads up here way more efficiently than on my motorcycle with way less chattering because it is one wheel and it just soaks up every single bump without the other wheel being affected by whatever bump that wheel is hitting. So dude, it works. It is nice. I mean, it literally cruises these dirt roads better than any car, better than any motorcycle, ATV. It is ridiculous, dude. It is awesome. I'm seriously, I'm loving it. I've been able to explore way more on this wheel, way faster than any other wheel, and I love doing it. I literally love this wheel, dude. Like, I literally want to offer Yuko like as much money, and then I'll be like, yo, I'll just make videos on it. I want to buy the wheel from him. Like, I literally didn't get this wheel for free, but I want to buy it. That's how good it is. But anyways, if y'all are wondering about this thing, you can pre-order it. Link below. It helps me out a little bit. It's greatly appreciated if you just use that link, and it's no cost to you. It just shoots me a few bucks and shows that you got it from me. And this thing is 43.5 mile per hour capable. Range on it is about 40 miles, and it is absolutely rad. You should get it, and more videos to come. But anyways, dudes, it's been Chooch. I'll see you in the next one.